Hello, Maverick traders, and welcome out to your daily market roundup. This is Ankit here, and let's break down today's market price action. It's a Wednesday, August the 21st. Let's get into it. As always, we'll be taking a look at broader market analysis, then take a look at sector heat map analysis, and then we'll take a look at some possible setups ahead. Let's get into it.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
So jumping into our market analysis, let's just jump right into the numbers here. Well, what are we seeing in the markets? Well, this is again looking at even news today, market just extend higher after that yesterday's pause. So as we look at the chart, yesterday it looked like, well, maybe this is coming to an end here after this spectacular rally. But then here we are rallying higher a little bit, but realize that the candlesticks are getting shorter here. So we are getting into this key resistance level where we might stall a little bit. This is where we probably still climb higher or maybe go sideways. But I think this is the area where we might just slow down in the markets. Now, if you take a look at the numbers today, you can see that in those numbers. Dow Jones only up 0.40, S&P up 0.42. Here we are, Q 0.47. Look at that, small caps playing a catch up here, 1.30. So we are looking at a nice positive day across the board with IWM leading. Now, here we are, oil constantly being dragged down here, again, down 1.5%, and gold mostly holding steady. Remember, gold just hit a fresh high. So we just taking a little pause here in gold, but overall, everything still looks pretty bullish here. So if you just take a look at the numbers, and I was actually kind of happy to see that where, the advanced decline ratio was positive today. You can see that it's 75% to the upside, 21% to the downside. But take a look at the market breadth. We are now 33% down in the red and 67 above the 50 moving average. No, that's a good sign. So the question really is that should we start looking at, more of that rotation? So here's the chart, S&P against the IWM. So you can see that small caps, we had a big sort of a change, big fall where the small caps really took over and we were seeing the big names coming down. You can see that after that, we are seeing a nice little recovery, but it's stalling right midpoint. If you take a look at the high and the low, we're kind of around the midpoint here. The question is, are we going to break out higher here or break down lower here? I think it'll be a good chance for some of the rotation to continue playing out. As we've seen that big rebound across the board. So maybe we'll just start to see some other names catch up more traction compared to, the money continue going into those big 5-7 tech stocks. So if you take a look at the heat map today, well, let's just take a look at it here. You can see that some of the things were not deposited today. Google slightly down, but overall, a healthy picture of greens across the board. So I think as we stall around the resistance level, we just have to be cautious on what we buy and what we sell here. Now, taking a look at the market outlook, we are at a +2. Again, market outlook for the month is +1. I think here we are. Everything looks good. But remember, this is the next level of resistance. We are pretty close to it. So at this point, do we want to bet on a breakout? Or do we think we stall here? And again, I think that's a big question after this massive recovery that we have from the bottom here. So the market sentiment stays bullish. We still have a lot to digest. We have some economic data coming out tomorrow that might affect it. We have Jackson Hole Symposium on Friday. So there's some things that might either accelerate it or put a big hard pause in there. That's something we have to wait and watch. So as trades, we are again want to be more on the bullish side. I don't have any neutral trades today, but I have more bullish than bears. And I think that's really where we want to be, having that exposure to the upside and then also have some underperformance in there as well. So here's the first one, Johnson & Johnson. You can see that this thing is held very nicely. And here we are. This is the high here. And this thing is holding nicely here. So I like this further to the upside. Again, we have a nice little trend line going here on the 50-day moving average that is holding it much nicely here. So I think in the coming days, there's more upside potential in this stock. Here's the other one, Palantir. This was on my list last week and a couple of weeks ago. And here we are making another high base. So this one still looks good to me to the upside. Then we have Carvana, which is again kind of doing the similar thing. We broke that big resistance level, and off the little high base here, I think it's likely to break out higher. So there's good bull call spreads you can put on this one. Again, here's another one, McDonald's. Remember, we had a base here. We had a big run. Here we are. Even with that little pause yesterday, we're right back at it. So I think this, again, looks nicely to be going to the upside as well. And then we have the Shark Ninja in the last. Again, this is, again, making a high base today. You can see that it could have broken out, but it didn't. Something I'm paying a close attention to for the breakout to the upside here. And then lastly, I have DoorDash, which again, along the Palantir, I had it on my list. This thing, again, nice, making a base here as well. So these are the ones that I think likely to outperform. They're holding much better. They didn't have that big dip that we take a look at everywhere else. These are more holding steady. I think there's better chance for them to kind of outperform here. Now, on the underperforming side, definitely noticing a lot of weakness in this energy sector. Again, oil is not doing so well, especially in this time period where demand is high. So that, again, is showing relative weakness. So here we are. The first one is Chevron Corporation, making a nice low base over here. We are below the 20, below the 50. So a nice little bear call spread on this one will be decent as well. Again, right now, we have this range between 142. On the upper hand is 148. But this, again, as we get closer to it, or we get a confirmation on that, I think that's where we probably get a nice confirmation on that break here. Now, the other one here for the downside, again, I have this Chevron and Occidental. This is another one, Occidental. You can see that this thing looks a lot more bearish than the other one, right at the support at 55.50. So if it breaks lower, I think they definitely want to be on this on the bearish side of this one. This is, again, showing me more weakness, bigger volume on the sell side. I like this one on the downside. And then lastly, again, this is the one that I'm kind of looking at as a bear rally. We have Bank of America Corporation. You can see that this thing had a big fall. Right now it just looks like a bear rally to me. It did get up towards that 20 and the 50 and rolling right over here. So this one, again, I don't mind looking at this one as a bit of a bear rally, the sort of shorting up the bear rally setup. If this breaks out above this 40, then I don't want to be in. But as long as it stays below that 40 area, I like this more, rolling over down to that 36 area. So that's pretty much it. I think market's likely to pause around that resistance level, or the percentage change, the candlesticks might slow down a little bit after some of those monster gains that we've seen. But outside of that, we have economic data tomorrow, manufacturing and services PMIs. We also have Jackson Hole on Friday. So there's some catalysts out there that we have to watch out for. But outside of that, market sentiment remains bullish. So not much to worry here. And earnings wise, we have TD tomorrow and some other ones. So pay attention to those. And again, continue focusing on relative to the weakness. And then most importantly, see if some of the sector rotation can take place. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Happy trading.